What's up, everybody? Welcome, Cassiopea Spring Tour 2026. I'm Iran. It's Project Malu. I wanted to talk about my gear and show that a little bit. I'm here at the hotel tomorrow at launch. I can't wait. So I can't show you my paddleboard, but I can show you the rest of the gear. And I just wanted to talk about why I use this kind of gear, because it is very specific. My phone's part of that. I use cameras like my phone and the GoPro that I'm taping on right now. I got a brand new one, GoPro 12, so I'm testing it out too. I use those things because they're the least invasive. I think a camera is much better than a net or a hook or something like that. Nets destroy the environment. They destroy smaller, soft-bodied creatures. I'm working in very shallow, calm, near-shore environments, so I want to disturb that as little as possible. I love those environments. So I use a paddleboard because just the presence of a larger boat, just it sitting there in the water, those creatures can feel it. That large boat makes wake and waves even when it's just sitting there. But propellers and oil and gas leaking and bilge water leaking is the death of those environments. So I want to protect those environments as much as possible and see those creatures underwater. I think the view with a camera underwater is much better than what you get from a net. With the camera underwater, you get to see the creatures, like I mentioned, in all the creatures, the soft ones, the ones at the bottom. You get to see their behavior. You're not just there terrorizing and taking them, and you don't damage them, you don't kill them like nets and hooks and things like that do. So my philosophy with doing research is to be like a manatee scientist, to manatee it. And so this is how I do it with cameras. You can see the GoPro casing there, headphones to hear video and all that kind of thing. My backup batteries, multi-tool, because things go wrong all the time. My snorkeling gear and backup paddle, and my sun protection, of course, computer to process things. And then I've got, I do vape. And then I've got solar panel for power, that out there in the sun. And of course my paddleboard. I try to keep it very simple. The other reason I do it this way is because I want to be out in that environment as long as I possibly can. I want to be on a slow boat. My whole career I've watched other scientists with their large grant-funded research. They barely got a couple weeks of just like craziness out in the field. They don't really get to spend any time with the things that they're studying, with the processes of the creatures they're studying, and I just couldn't have that. I want as much time as I can possibly get observing, being with those creatures out in the field, trying to understand them and the processes that are going on that they're living in. I want to experience and live in those processes too. So I've chosen this route very specifically. My students and I in the past have done shark research that was very damaging. The way they do shark research, they're basically torturing the creatures. We did some tagging with our horseshoe crab research with the FWC and the federal government, and we did not like that. We had to poke holes in the horseshoe crabs. So my students and I chose to not do that after a while because that's not what we want to do with these creatures. Even when we were holding them in the mazes, we tried to treat them as good as we possibly could. We tried not to keep them too long there, but I mean, when you're working with them every day and you're carrying them in buckets from the beaches and stuff, you know that it's torture from them. From their perspective, they don't know what's going on. They don't care that it's science, and I don't want to hurt them. It makes me very sad to think about what scientists do to the things that they say they love and are studying. And so I wanted to do that differently. I wanted to make sure we didn't do things like that. So this is why.